Hello and welcome. Michelle here, and this is another one of our Easy Paint with Me on a Sunday. So today, ta-da, this is the one I did earlier. So this is what I'm going to be doing today. I might not use exactly the same colours. You don't have to use the same colours as me either. So I've got some 300 GSM watercolor paper here. What else? I've got three brushes at the ready. They're the Van Gogh brushes, all synthetic, size 12, size 8 and size 4. The paints that I'm using today are these Van Gogh. It's the Van Gogh set. And these were, I think, called the floral set, but it's called the Pocket Box, perfect for plein air painting. Now, because I'm being lazy today, let me just, so this is what it kind of looks like when it's shut. It has the little Van Gogh, there we go, Van Gogh on it. You open it like so, and this is sat inside together with a little size 6 brush, and there's a little notch here, and you can take that out because I'm being lazy because I haven't washed this out. So I'm just going to put that to one side for the moment, and I won't be using the brush. But it's good to know if you are out and about. I will use this as my mixing palette. So I've got a nice selection of colours in this set. So we've got a cool yellow, which is lemon yellow, and then we've got a warmer yellow, azo yellow medium. We have got quinacridone rose, cadmium red light, and Madder Lake Deep as our reds. So we've got cool and we've got warmer. Then we've got Prussian blue, ultramarine deep, and cerulean blue. Cerulean blue is cool, ultramarine is warmer, and I would say Prussian blue is cool again because it's more it's yeah, anyway. We've got a couple of greens, sap green and viridian. I've got some browns here, or new kind of natural colours, yellow ochre, burnt sienna, burnt umber, and there's also a Payne's grey. And then there is a Chinese white. Chinese white is only good for mixing, by the way. But those are the colours that I've got in here. And this outline, I drew this and then I printed this onto my watercolor paper, just on a normal printer. I will put the link below to this sketch if you feel that you would like to use my sketch. This is a A5 piece of paper. Right, I think that's all of that out of the way. So for this one, I'm going to start off by doing my background all around my bunny. So I'm going to try using my size 12 because it does go to quite a nice point. And let's mix up a colour then, or maybe we'll just go slightly different this time, and maybe I will just use some yellow ochre. Let's do that. Let's not make things complicated. So we're just going to go all the way around the edge of our little bunny, which I thought was quite relevant because we've got Easter coming up. So yeah, hopefully just a bit of fun and something that, you know, there's a sketch there for you if you feel challenged with the drawing. I'm not actually using tape to stick this down today, or to give me a kind of border. I'm just going to paint up to a certain point and give myself a border and make it look a bit more painterly today, I think. But by all means, if you want to use some masking tape or washi tape, then you know, please do go ahead. And I can really kind of turn this around because of this is quite pointy actually. This brush is working quite well. So, you know, don't feel that you can't turn your paper around to help you. That's all perfectly fine. So I think he's rather cute, our little bunny. And I'm not worried about making my background perfectly even everywhere or anything like that. I'll show you why in a moment. Because I really do just want it to be a background. And I didn't do that on the other one, but I think for this one, I'm just going to take some of, oops, might need a bit more water, some of this yellow ochre, and just put some splats in, just to make it a little bit more uneven as a background and give it some interest. So now obviously we need this one to dry before we can do anything else. So I will be back in a couple of blinks. And there we are. Now I'm going to use my small brush because these are all details now that I'm doing. We'll just clean that one off. Move my bleed proof white out of the way. And I think I'm going to start by getting these little bunny ears in. Now, what colour shall I use this time? I think I'm going to use, because I fancy just doing it slightly differently, I'm going to use this quinacridone rose and just mix it with my yellow ochre. And then I'm going to paint this ear. There we go. We've got one little pink ear. Okay, next I'm going to get this green line in. So let's mix up a nice green, shall we? Well, we could just use the sap green to start off with. So we could just use that on its own initially. Okay, so I'm going to very carefully have my line. Which way shall we start? Let's go around this way. So we're going to go up, and we're going to go around, and then we want to go across here and up. So there we go. We've got our line there, and I think quite like having that line coming down. And then with my sap green, I'm going to add a little bit of the yellow ochre. And we can then make our leaves that are coming off. And I'm not going to try and make it the same as the one I did before. I'm just going to get some nice leaves in here. Like so. And then I think let's just let's make that a bit darker. So let's add in some of the ultramarine, a bit more, and we'll make that a darker green, and we'll get this line in here. So we're going to go up, and we're going to go around, and I think we can have that looping around. I mean, you don't have, you can play with yours as, you know, as much as you would like. Just getting some of these nice leaves in everywhere. And different shades of leaves as well. Okay, so we've got that in. I think let's add a bit more of our yellow ochre, and perhaps then we'll have something coming down like this. And then we've got another and maybe we can just have a small leaf coming off there. So we've got these leaves. They're kind of helping to shape our bunny, in actual fact. Yes, I'm quite liking that. I'm wondering whether I could also go around this way, thinking about it. So that the leaves are outlining the bunny even more. Quite liking that. Right, let's mix the pink that I had with a bit more of the yellow ochre there. And let's get a bit more of an outline. So I'm turning mine upside down to do this. around these ears. Yeah, there we go. And I think we can carry that on to outline the rest of our little bunny. And then our bunny has kind of got some outline on it as well. Right, now down here, I want to do a flower like I did here. But I think I really want to make this one stand out. So we'll use the quinacridone rose on its own, and its little bunny tail is going to be the middle of my flower. So we've got our middle of our flower there, and we've used ultramarine, so I'm just adding a bit of ultramarine into my quinacridone rose. I'm just going to keep mucking about with that really, so that you know, I can make my flower lots of different shades. So that we've got our flower there, and then I might take the blue and just let that mingle a bit, so that it's got a bit of interest in it. And then taking the sap green again, we can then have that one kind of trailing round. I don't think I'm going to do the leaves like I did last time, and I didn't mean to do that, but never mind. Let's wipe that away. Easily solved. Let's take our quinacridone rose, and I think I'm just going to do some little flower shapes just because I can. Just to add to this one, and who knows, I might prefer the one I did first. It happens. And then with my sap greeny colour, I'm just going to give those little stems like that. So, you know, as you can see, this one is definitely coming out slightly different to the one that I did before, but this is all fine. Right, now I want to do the eye and the nose. So let's take our Payne's Grey. And get it at an angle where I can do it nicely. is that we can get our little eye and our little nose in. And I think I might want to add a bit more interest to these leaves. So we don't want Payne's Grey just in one place. So let's make this darker green now. And just... So for those olivey ones, I've just put one line going up. And then for these, I might just add a couple of veins in here and there. Not everywhere. Yeah, just on a few, which I think is rather nice. Now, I think I might need to tidy up this flower, but before I do anything else, I'm actually going to dry this and then look at what else I need to do. Okay, so I've pulled out some Neo colours, and I've decided that I'm not that keen on this outline here. So just so as you know, we don't always... so I'm going to try and blur it a bit with my Neo colour here. And I've pulled out, what colour have I pulled out? Silver grey. There you go, silver grey. Just to help with that little outline that it was almost too bold. So I think that's helped a little bit there. And then with my Neo colour, I'm going to just emphasize these leaves a little bit. Not leaves, petals. Sorry, petals. And then I need a purple. There we go. Oh, sorry, what colour was that? That was... Well, actually, that was called purple. What's this called then? Aubergine, okay. So let's just get that centre in a bit better. That's better. And what else do I want to do? Maybe I could go back to the silver. Is that going to highlight the top bit a bit more? Yeah, I think it is. Just a little bit, isn't it? Yes, I think that's better. I might even add a bit of the silver as a highlight on Bunny's ear as well. Yeah. Okay. Right. So there we have our little Easter bunny. I move some of this out of the way because it always distracts us a little bit, doesn't it? There we go. So, yeah, take your pick. Which one do you prefer? First version, second version, or elements of even. But I think he's rather cute. I think he's rather fun to do. and I hope you enjoy having a go with your little Easter bunny. And so have a lovely morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are. Let me know if you're enjoying these easy paints with me. And yeah, leave a comment down below. I love getting comments. Until next time though, bye bye for now.